We interrupt the Perry Logan Show to bring you the following Perry Logan Show, appropriately called Interruptions. That's right, everybody. It's time to look at the U.S. today as a land existing in a political interregnum. A series of interruptions, if you will, of the Republic. It began perhaps with 9/11, or perhaps it went back earlier to the Reagan Revolution, or even earlier still. Certainly we took a big downward turn in 2008 when Barack Obama tore off the rubber mask, revealing the leering neocon within. Revealing he was, in Perry Logan's terms, pretty much a neocon posing as a centrist Democrat, thus explaining why things have gone so much worse in the 20-teens than they did in the 1990s. No, 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 no. Yes, 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 yes. No, 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 no. Yes, 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 yes. Yes! You people of the 21st century, such fools! Such fools! You, my friends, have blown the whole show. You have put the entire Republic into a state of interruption with your little Tory enterprises, your little so-called authoritarian enterprises. Fools! I can't help but notice you 21st century twits have let the entire Fourth Amendment go by the wayside with your secret electronic eavesdropping, with your NSA gone beyond reason. I can see you are helpless to do anything about it. It's no wonder Perry Logan, perceiving our entire republic in a state of Republicus interruptus. Republicus interruptus! No! Hello! One more time, Perry! One more time! Forgive me, and thank you for watching and the whole bit. It really is September 15th, 2013, inasmuch as I can trust the people who tell me the date. And it's true that not only is it a show of interruptions, but we live in a time of severe and central interruptions of things. In my opinion, there's been a kind of historical skipping. We were due for a certain thing to happen historically, okay? Just go with me on this. Go with me on this, damn it! Or I'll threaten you! Historically, to make a long story short, I believe that the good old U.S. and the good old Republic were overdue. They were due. You know, the curves of history were pointed toward a renewed love affair with the liberals and the left. I know, I'm a lefty, so, you know, am I just looking at it through lefty-colored glasses? Well, of course. But there are stats to back up this supposition. And I'm talking about, long about 2008 is when it all turned around. We had kind of, look back to 2008, we had really had it with Bush Cheney. Oh, come on. You know, there are numbers to back it up, approval ratings, polls, and stuff like that. And I think, you know, everybody knew that the Dems were poised for victory, and we were all just as glad, you know. Newspapers that had been long, like always for the Republican, finally said, okay, that's it! These people really don't know nothing. They're destroying the country. That was 2008 or so. And there were polls also of young people. And, you know, young people currently hiding out. Not literally hiding out, but there's a sense in which young people are hiding out. But back in 2008, they were of a distinctly progressive Democratic cast. They really were. And I'm just making this up. I believe that the young folks of today, somewhat younger there back in 2008, young people surveyed back then, were the most democratic generation ever polled ever. They were more lefty. They were more progressive than the generation of the 30s. They were more progressive than my generation, the baby boomers, who in those first years, the early boomers like me, were a notably progressive lot, okay? Not so much later. Well, anyway, the young folks surpassed us in what I regard as a really good trait. Leftiness. People had had it. It was not through anything the Democrats had done, God knows. Well, I'll take it back a little. It was partly Clinton deserves some credit that things were going well under Clinton. People forget. But as we've reviewed in earlier interruptions, Clinton did kind of interrupt that. Speaking of interruptions, he interrupted the downward spiral of Republican policies, and the Dems were due to kind of do that again. You see what I mean? We were hoping. Obama was supposed to be a progressive. He was supposed to be a liberal, a Democrat. Hello? Little did we realize that when he took the oath of office, Obama would tear off the rubber mask, revealing the leering neocon within. We're going to act up on the drones. We're going to have a kill list. We're going to target journalists. We're going to target people all over the place. We're going to kill Muslims everywhere. Our foreign policy is henceforth to be accuse someone of being a terrorist and kill him. This is a monstrous version of Barack Obama, the neocon, posing as a centrist Democrat. Yeah. The point being that I regret to say that I think the Obama administration has pretty much interrupted this little love affair. We were going to have, in my little dream, in 2008, we were going to have a lefty type, real, more or less real Democrat. Like I say, Bill Clinton is regarded, I believe, as a centrist Democrat. That's about where he falls, And things still really went well under Clinton, It's just the opposite of the way it is now. Things were going well then, not now. And there was no fascist takeover thing going on, I'm pretty sure. And the nation was really well primed by Bush Cheney for a huge lefty. It's my dream. And I don't think it's just because I see it through left-colored glasses, is that the stats showed the people had really just... As I like to say, the Repubs were on their knees, broken and bleeding. They had just kind of ruined themselves. And the people were ready to elect a Democrat, but you see what happened was that whole tearing off the mask. That's just a really condensed way of saying that Obama just kind of sailed on rightward. Like a quarterback running the ball the wrong way. We found ourselves headed into... further, essentially, Republican Armageddon. Yeah. And this love affair that, like I say, I think was going to happen, might have happened, with a president who'd really tried. Just come on, do something a Democrat would do, please. Come on, anything? Just do something a Democrat would do, Obama. No, I'm pretty sure nothing like a Democrat would do. So I really think it's true to say the Obama administration interrupted the what could have been, I think, a positive time for the left and for progressives, and now we of the left are a little more than orphans. Aww. I hope you feel sorry for us. I think the left are really cut off right now and really divided. Also, people's attitudes toward government have reversed themselves as things have continued to go basically down the tubes. And I regret to say that the righties, they think it's all socialism. I think that's madness. They think it's all far left progressive socialism. Now, you would think that an actual avowed progressive, would know that, right? If Obama were the same thing as me. No. But it is a characteristic of righties, who, as I say, are hopeless, that they know better than we do, okay? So, I'm the one who's telling you Obama is guilty of being too far right. He's like a neocon. But probably not intentionally, Obama has indeed given us a pretty big interruption of what was supposed to be, in my opinion, often a parallel universe. Yes, you seek refuge in fantasy. You seek refuge in wonderful games from the fact that the Republic itself stands interrupted in a time of interruptions, in a time of interregnum, a time when a once functioning republic verges into something along the lines of an inept police state where some freedom of speech is tolerated, but if you get in the government's way or persuade someone in the government that you're a threat, you can be disappeared. It's that bad. That, my friends, could be called a time of interregnum. We are hoping it doesn't harden into a true fascist dictatorship. As a political observer, I'm convinced this could not happen because neither the Republicans nor the Democrats have all that much talent to spare. Apparently, talent in politics is on hold too, as is trust in government hitting new lows under Obama. Verily, verily, my friends, I don't blame you for coming here to escape all these nagging interruptions. We've all got to kick back sometime, yes? Yes. Speaking of interruptions, the Republicans are threatening to interrupt the government again, since they saw fit to dissolve the Fourth Amendment without mentioning it to anybody, and since the difference between the 1990s and the 2010s is somewhat like the difference between heaven and hell, respectively, one wonders if a shutdown of government wouldn't come as a welcome relief to most Americans. Perry regrets this development because it interrupts that love affair we were developing with government. Because, you see, government is the only solution to all the problems we created by treating government as the problem. Hi, this is Ronald Reagan. That was really cool. You're alluding to me, aren't you, Perry?
Yes, Ronald.
Oh, Perry, you're looking very beatific there.
Thank you, Ronald.
Well, I'm just taking a moment off from being flayed in hell forever for the death squad thing to mention that I was wrong. Government is not the problem. The bloody corporations are the problem. Here in hell, among the other torments, is the fact that you see reality for what it is. Now I've got to go back to my punishment for the death squad thing.
The death squad thing?
The death squad thing. That's what lies ahead for me? Oh yeah. This is such an exciting show. Shut up, wimp! You slowed down the fascist takeover that I and Obama have done.
You are watching Interruptions. Sorry about all the interruptions. It's September 19th, 2013. Global climate change gets worse and worse every day. Global warming deniers prepare to start blaming the liberals for it.
Hey, yeah. Hey, sorry about all the interruptions, but you're watching Interruptions, excuse me. Sorry to interrupt those headlines. But here I am in good old Austin, Texas, a city I love. But, you know, we're at the center of a mega drought. It's just the truth. They tell us we're in the midst of a mega drought. You say, wow, you know, what kind of rain is it going to take, you know, at what level to cure our mega drought? And as you well know, the people in Colorado are currently recovering from a horrible super flood. It was like a 1,000-year flood. You know, this is stuff they predicted. You know, climate change scientists were predicting this sort of stuff in the 1970s. That's right. Hello, this is Perry, circa the 1970s. A young and handsome buck, forsooth, going to graduate school at UCLA. And it's true, climate scientists were already saying we were warming the planet. This led to a huge corporate effort to hide the whole global warming thing and make it seem like a myth. It began back here, sure as shooting. Wow, that was young Perry, a handsome young buck. But he was just confirming. is that they really were warning us about what was going on in the 1970s. That is how right the scientists were. And as I say, the only area in which they seem to be wrong, is that it's worse. It always seems to be, every time you hear, worse and worse. Okay, so that's one of the things that, well, it's interrupting our lives, isn't it? Is that global warming becomes increasingly hard to deny, Anyone in this fair city of Austin, Texas, who wishes to start denying global warming, okay, but you see, you are doing that in the midst of a mega drought, baby. You are like a mega drought, global warming central. That's Austin, Texas. Woo! Oh, okay, I'm calm. But there is something I wanted to point out, and that is that, after a while, all this denial of science and stuff is gonna have to end. It's going to be undeniable. Maybe along about the time we're drawing straws for who gets put in the dome. When life becomes insupportable, civilization will become insupportable. I'm told that, as just a degree or two changes so many equations in how the world is running. And how things are going to go. And I heard one person describe the future at the rate we're going. The future, civilization will simply be a name for just one great big rescue operation. Do you see what I'm talking about? Yeah. This whole thing's going to interrupt civilization, in keeping with the interruption theme. But sure shooting, you can bet. This is my point. You can bet when global warming becomes undeniable, the global warming deniers will start blaming the liberals for it. Right? Right.
Perry.
Buddha.
Perry.
Buddha?
Perry.
Buddha?
Perry.
Buddha?
Perry.
Buddha?
Perry.
Buddha?
This is the Buddha, 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 this is the Buddha.
Buddha?
Perry.
Yes, satirical version of the Buddha, meant in no way to demean the noble Buddhist religion.
Well, that's very nice, Perry. Perhaps I won't turn you into a newt. You can do that. Perry, in a show which has interruption and interregnum as its theme, it seems to me you are ignoring the biggest interruption that has occurred in the United States. 9/11.
9/11. Yeah, in a show about interruptions, we do have to pay tribute. I hate to say it, but pay tribute to Osama bin Laden, the late Osama bin Laden, who, kind of predicted that his action, or the action of his people on 9/11 would change America and turn it into, I believe his phrase was, a choking hell.
That's right, Perry.
Osama bin Laden, you bastard! Yes, Perry. Sometimes I like to take time out from skewering virgin after virgin, which could get exhausting. I like to take time out and mock you. This is Osama bin Laden mocking you. I mock you. The world turned into the choking hell I told you it would be. Talk about interruptions. In any show about interruptions, I, the late great Osama bin Laden, must rate very, very high. I love the way your nation is still full of guns, as if you were lying around in your own turds.
I said shut up, Osama!
Quick reminder, this Perry Logan Show is brought to you by Another Maine Kid for Gun Control.
Hi,
Hi, I'm another maimed kid for gun control. Keep in mind that while hundreds and hundreds of children are killed every year by guns in America, something about which Jesus is very mad, by the way.
That's right, man, kid. Hi, this is Jesus. You know, it's getting a little tight up here. We just have one kid after another who's been blown away by guns in the USA, and we up here in heaven are starting to think, you know, how can people live this way? They're like barbarians. Mass shootings are on the rise. People are coming up here in droves, all of them blown away most horribly by guns. Have you people no government down there?
You got me, Jesus. In my opinion, the future will see us as being like people who lay around in our own turds. Maybe it's because people don't think about all the horrible things that happen with guns. So here's a little crawl to disturb your dreams. Check it out, gun guys. Here's a little crawl to disturb your dreams. These are the gun atrocities that are happening every day. Gun atrocities happening every day. To say nothing of the souls of the slain children, even as we speak, congregating around the tissues of your skull. Your skull! 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 Skull!
No, 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 no. Yes, 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 yes. No, 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 no. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Filling in for Perry Logan on the Tramp is number one. That's right, it's number one. Take it, big guy. Tim, Jim. There's further proof we live in a time of interruptions, a kind of a political interregnum, if you will, in the Republic. It also interrupted our little tryst. Never mind that now, Tim. Oh, Tim, looks like Perry's been interrupted again. It's a stark case of Trump-willingness interruptus, Jim. Well, why do you think Perry thinks Obama is part of the interregnum? Well, Tim, as I think Perry himself explained, America was poised to go left and waited for Obama to help fix up the mess Bush-Cheney had created, and he did no such thing. I see what you mean, Tim. Obama could have ended the embargo with Cuba. Right. He could have recognized Palestine. He could have passed a real stimulus without the tax cuts. He could have closed Guantanamo. He could have ended the Bush tax cuts. He could have truly reformed health care. Obama could have moved toward election finance reform instead of directly away from it. Obama could have used his election support to make progressive change. He could have investigated and prosecuted Bush-Cheney.
He could have investigated and prosecuted the Wall Street brigands. He could have earned his Nobel Prize.
He could have turned himself into the authorities, Tim. Oh, there he goes again. Perry's going, and I don't think there's going to be any more interruptions now in this show, appropriately called Interruptions. Hey, I've had it with these interruptions, okay? Hey, I'm number one. I'm number one. I've had it with these interruptions.
No, 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 no. Yes, 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 yes. No, 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 no. Yes, 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 yes.